Do you dream of filling your garden with stunning perennials, but without spending a dime? Imagine getting beautiful, thriving plants from just a few simple cuttings, all for free. Sounds like magic, right? Well, stick around because in today's video, I'll show you exactly how to propagate 12 amazing perennials that you can easily grow at home. Trust me, you won't want to miss these tricks. They're game changers. So, if you're into growing plants, learning new tricks, and making your garden the best it can be, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future gardening tips. In this video, we're diving into the step-by-step process of propagating 12 different perennials. First, I'll show you how to choose the best plants for cutting. Then we'll jump into the tools and techniques I use to make sure your cuttings root successfully. I'll also walk you through timing and share a couple of pro tips to make sure you get the best results every time. And don't worry, I'm making this super simple and fun. No complicated jargon here, just easy, actionable steps that anyone can follow. Stay tuned to the end because I've also got some bonus hacks for you that'll take your gardening to the next level. So, let's get started. All right, let's kick things off with lavender, one of the most talked about plants in propagation. People always say it's tricky, but honestly, I call BS. Here's the deal. The key to lavender is semi-ripe wood. It's not too soft and tender, but also not too woody and old. Something like this. Snap a stem showing the soft green tip and grayish base. See that? You've got a nice grayish base with a green tip. Perfect for cutting. Now, we're going to strip the bottom leaves like this. And I know what you're thinking. Rooting hormone, right? Well, let me show you something even better. Honey. Yep, just your regular kitchen honey. Why? Because honey's got natural antibacterial properties that prevent rot. And the sugars, they give your cutting a little extra boost to get those roots going strong. Just poke that honey-coated end into some perlite, not soil yet, just perlite, and you're good to go. Trust me, this trick works better than any rooting hormone I've ever used. Okay, real quick, why does this actually work? Plants have something called auxin, which is basically their growth hormone. This hormone is concentrated right under the leaf nodes, where your cutting is made. When you make that cut, the plant goes into full-on panic mode. It's like, uh-oh, I'm injured. I've got to grow some roots to survive. And that's where we come in. We're just helping it panic in the right direction. We're providing the perfect environment for the plant to focus its energy on rooting, not just healing itself. So when you see those roots start to form, it's not magic, it's plant science at work. Next up, we've got salvia, one of the most vibrant, easy-to-grow plants you'll ever have in your garden. Now, the trick to propagating salvia is simple. Take your cuttings after it flowers. Why? Well, think about it. After it's done blooming, the plant has more energy and resources to put into rooting. And the best part? That means faster roots and a quicker turnaround for your cuttings. Cut just below the flower spike, remove the leaves from the bottom half of the stem, and you're all set. Stick it into some good, well-draining soil and make sure it gets enough sunlight. You'll have strong, healthy roots in no time. Now let's talk rosemary, one of my absolute favorites. Rosemary's a bit different from the others. For this one, you'll want to scrape the bark from the bottom of the stem. See how I'm doing that? This exposes the cambium, the area where the plant starts forming roots. The more you expose, the better it is for rooting. Pretty cool, right? Once you've scraped it, stick it in a glass of water, and in just about 14 days, you'll start seeing roots. Fast. No fuss, no complicated process. Just make sure you keep it in a warm spot with lots of indirect light. You'll be amazed at how quickly it roots. Now let's talk about Russian sage, one of the hardiest perennials you can grow. Here's the trick. Cut in the morning. Why? Well, plants are like us. They're better hydrated after a good night's rest. If you cut in the morning, the plant is at its most hydrated and healthy, which means your cutting is going to be in the best condition to develop roots. So, grab your sharp scissors,
snip off a healthy stem just below a leaf node, and strip the bottom leaves. Then stick that cutting in some well-draining soil, but make sure it gets just the right amount of sunlight. Not too much direct heat, though. That hydration from the morning is going to help that cutting establish roots faster and stronger. Russian sage roots pretty quickly when you get this step right, and with that perfect start, you'll see your cutting thriving in no time. Next up is Shasta daisy, and this one's a fun one because we're going to root in water first. That's right, no soil needed at the beginning. Place your cutting in a glass of water and keep it somewhere bright but out of direct sunlight. And here's a tip. Change that water every single day. I know it sounds like a lot, but trust me, it's worth it. As the cutting sits in the water, you'll see those roots start to form after about 10 days. It's almost like magic. The water helps the cutting stay hydrated while it's forming those roots, and the daily water change keeps things fresh and prevents any rot. Once those roots are nice and strong, you can move your cutting into soil. Boom! In just 10 days, you've got a rooted cutting ready to be planted. This method is foolproof and really works wonders for Shasta daisy. Let's dive into catmint, one of the best plants for attracting bees and butterflies to your garden. Here's a neat trick to help your cutting grow nice and bushy. Pinch the tip. Sounds simple, right? But it's incredibly effective. When you pinch off the top of the cutting, it forces the plant to grow side shoots, which means you get a fuller, bushier plant rather than just a long, leggy stem. Pinching the tip redirects the energy from the top growth into lateral shoots. You'll end up with a much stronger cutting that grows into a fuller plant. And the best part? This technique works great for propagation because the side shoots grow faster and establish stronger roots. Plus, your mom plant, the one you're taking cuttings from, gets even bushier with all that extra growth. With a little care and attention, your catmint cutting will root quickly and give you a healthy, full plant in no time. It's one of the easiest perennials to propagate, and with this trick, you'll get a thriving plant that keeps on giving. Next up is penstemon, and this one's a bit of a game changer when it comes to success rates. The secret? A plastic bag dome. Yes, a simple plastic bag turns your cutting into a mini greenhouse. It creates a humid environment that's perfect for rooting and helps prevent the cutting from drying out too quickly. Simply take your cutting, strip the bottom leaves, and place it into well-draining soil. Then cover it with a clear plastic bag, making sure the bag doesn't touch the cutting. This little dome mimics a greenhouse, trapping moisture and creating the ideal conditions for the cutting to root. I've had 90% success with this method. It's that good. Keep the bag in a warm, bright spot, but not too hot. A little indirect sunlight is perfect. In just a couple of weeks, you'll start seeing new roots form, and soon enough, you'll have a strong, healthy plant to transplant. This method is foolproof for penstemon. Simple, effective, and guaranteed to give you those roots in no time. Once it's rooted, just remove the bag and transplant it into your garden. Let's move on to coneflower, a garden favorite for its vibrant blooms and ability to attract pollinators. Now, root division is often the go-to method for expanding your coneflower collection, but let's talk about cuttings. Here's the thing. Cuttings are like free insurance for your garden. If you're worried about your plant not rooting, this gives you a backup plan without any extra cost. Trust me, it's worth trying. When you take a cutting, make sure to snip just below a leaf node and remove any leaves from the bottom. Place that cutting into a glass of water, and within a few weeks, you'll start seeing those roots. It's simple, effective, and you're in control of growing more plants without waiting for division to happen naturally. Even if your coneflower already has a bunch of clumps in the garden, cuttings give you a way to multiply your plants without disturbing the main plant. Think of it as an insurance policy in case something goes wrong with the original clump. And bonus, rooting cuttings from coneflower is one of the easiest methods, especially if you're just starting out. Or as I like to call it, the easy grow plant. This one's a pro when it comes to handling tough conditions, but there's a small trick that can make all the difference when you're propagating from cuttings. Let it callous for 24 hours. I know, it sounds simple, but trust me, this little step is crucial to prevent rot. After you take your cutting, leave it to sit in a dry, shaded area for 24 hours. This gives the cut end time to callus over, meaning it forms a protective layer that helps prevent rot. Skipping this step is one of the most common rookie mistakes. If you don't let it callus, your cutting is more likely to rot and mush out rather than root. Once the cutting is calloused over, you can pop it into some soil. Sedum roots quickly and easily once it has that protective layer. In just a few weeks, you'll have a brand new sedum plant to add to your collection. Sedum is a tough one to mess up, but that 24-hour callousing is the key to giving your cutting the best chance at success. Skipping that step, that's when you'll get mush instead of roots. Trust me on this one. Next up, we've got bee balm, a favorite for its colorful blooms and strong scent. Now, bee balm is one of those plants that can sometimes suffer from powdery mildew, especially when the weather is a bit too humid. But here's a super easy fix. Dip your cutting in a milk-water mix. Sounds strange, right? But it works wonders. I'll tell you why. Mix 1 part milk to 2 parts water. The proteins and fats in milk help fight off the mildew while also giving your cutting some added nutrients to encourage root growth. Just dip your cutting in this mix before you plant it. It's like a little boost for your plant's immune system and roots.
Not only does it help with powdery mildew, but it also boosts root development, making sure your bee balm cutting grows nice and strong. It's an old gardening trick that not many people know, but it's one of my favorites for helping plants thrive without chemicals. Finally, let's talk about yarrow. If you want to multiply your yarrow quickly, here's the secret. Cut below a node and bury 2 nodes when planting. That's right, double the nodes, double the roots. It's a simple technique that gives you better results. Take your cutting and cut just below a leaf node. Then bury the cutting so that 2 nodes are under the soil. This gives your cutting more places to root, which means you're giving it a stronger foundation to grow from. Yarrow is super resilient and loves to spread. By burying 2 nodes, you're essentially doubling your chances of success. Each node will sprout roots and create a more robust plant. With this little trick, you'll get a quicker, more vigorous root system and a healthier yarrow plant that's ready to take on your garden. All right, before you go, I've got 3 bonus hacks that nobody is talking about. These are going to take your propagation game to the next level, trust me. Let's dive right in. First up, the free rooting station. Here's a simple hack to save you some cash. All you need are old takeout containers. Yep, those things you keep because you can't throw them away. And a drill. Drill a few holes in the bottom for drainage, and boom, instant propagation trays. They're perfect for your cuttings. Cheap, effective, and totally upcycled. These containers are the perfect size, and with proper drainage, they help prevent overwatering. You can even label them so you don't forget what's what. Best part? It's completely free. No need to buy fancy trays. Now for hack number 2, willow water. This is a game changer. Willow twigs are packed with natural rooting hormones. All you need to do is soak them in water for 48 hours. That's it. Once the water's infused with those natural growth hormones, just dip your cuttings in it before you plant them. You'll notice a big difference in the speed and success of your roots. Not only does it help your cuttings root faster, but it's completely natural. No chemicals, no expense. I'll drop the full recipe in the description below so you can start making your own willow water at home. And here's an extra tip. If you're in Nigeria, don't worry about hunting down willow twigs. You can use neem twigs instead. They work just as well. Same magic, different tree. So, whether you've got willow or neem, you're all set to give your cuttings a rooting boost, no extra cost. All right, last bonus hack, the fail-proof calendar. Propagating is all about timing, and if you're not doing it at the right time of year, you might be wasting your time. So, I've created a cheat sheet with exact weeks for when to take your cuttings depending on your climate zone. For those of you in zones 5 to 9, I'll include the full calendar link below so you can pin it to your fridge and never miss the right window again. With this simple calendar, you'll know exactly when to take your cuttings for the best chances of success. I mean, who wants to waste time cutting at the wrong time of year, right? So, download the calendar, keep it handy, and you'll always be on point with your propagation timing.
Okay, so there you have it. 3 bonuses that will seriously level up your propagation skills. The best part? They're all free or super cheap. And if you're in a different region, don't stress. I've got tips that'll work for you no matter where you live.
All right, before you dive into propagation, let's talk about the biggest rookie mistakes I see people make all the time. These are easy to avoid once you know what to look out for. First up, overwatering. I get it. Plants need water, right? But too much water equals rot city. When your cuttings are sitting in soggy soil, you're just asking for trouble. You'll start to see the leaves yellow and mushy stems. Bye-bye roots. Fix. Keep your cuttings in moist, not soggy soil. Water sparingly, just enough to keep it from drying out, and make sure the soil drains well. This way the roots won't drown before they even start. Next mistake, direct sun. A lot of people think more sun equals more growth, but when your cutting is in direct sunlight, it's basically getting cooked. You'll see it start to wilt and brown, and that's a clear sign it's too much too soon. Fix, keep your cuttings in 70% shade. Indirect sunlight is best. Let them acclimate slowly to the sun as they grow stronger. Too much heat too soon will just stress them out. Finally, wrong season. Trying to propagate in the middle of winter, your cuttings won't stand a chance. Plants have a growth cycle, and if you're trying to cut in the wrong season, you're asking for 0 roots. Fix, stick to spring or fall for the best success. These are the seasons when plants are naturally ready to root and grow, so you'll have the highest chances of success. Trust me, timing is everything. So remember, 70% shade, moisture, not soggy, and the right season. That's how you set yourself up for success. All right, that's it. 12 free plants and no excuses left. You've got all the knowledge you need to start propagating like a pro. Now do this. Pick 1 plant from today's list. Just 1. Take 1 cutting. It's that simple. Then tag me on Instagram when it roots. I love seeing your progress and I repost every single one of them. You're not just growing plants, you're building a garden community. Also, don't forget to download your cheat sheet and propagation calendar. It's all linked below, so you'll always know the best time to take cuttings and keep everything organized for the season. Smash that like button if you're planning on propagating this weekend, and subscribe because next week we're turning 1 tomato into 50 plants. Yep, you heard that right. You're not going to want to miss it. See you in the dirt, fam. Go make some baby plants.